online environment to be able to give feedback to students, quickly and easily, just by pressing the record button and being able to send feedback directly to a specific student or to all students in the classroom. And so the main reason why I wanted to do this workshop was I was targeting mostly our online cohort because these are people who are teaching online for the first time, and when I do the day 2 training, which is on Friday, I really don't have enough time to cover video in depth. So I say, hey, let me do this workshop on the side. Anybody else who wants to jump in can come also. Everyone's invited. And so just to talk about how we have, what tools we have at FIT to support video production, and what are the best ways to produce video for your class, depending on how you want to distribute the video or what is that you're looking to do with video. So basically, I just wanted to go through some options that are available and what are the pros and cons. And if anybody's interested, I'll be happy to do a quick walkthrough using Screencast-O-Matic to create a quick video, like an introduction video or a quick feedback. Oh, okay, great. So we'll do that. So one thing I do want to say that there are about 3 or 4, I would say, tools that I highly recommend, and real quickly, I'll just go through them and give you some pros and cons. The first one, VoiceThread, which is a great tool if you're teaching like a language course, because VoiceThread will allow your students to record their video and come back, and you can go back and listen to them, and you can create assignments. So VoiceThread gives you that nice back and forth communication with students through video, and that's where VoiceThread kind of shines, is in that area. If you're looking to hear from your students, if you're looking to hear their voices as they respond to a lecture question or discussions, VoiceThread is usually the tool to go and if that's what you're interested in. Now, if you're looking for just your slides and a voiceover, then you have Screencast-O-Matic, was the top one that we have, and also Loom, which is Loom. It's a free tool that you can go to loom.com and you can record without having to download anything to your computer. I know there's a lot of fans. There's a couple of people I know use it at FIT, and it's a nice and easy way to do it. Now, remember, this is a third-party tool, and we're not paying for that for Loom. So just keep in mind that when you're dealing with something like that, there's no tech support. There's limited tech support, and you always run the risk of the company shutting down and moving on, and you get stuck. So, but that's another option, which I think is pretty reliable, a pretty good tool for this type of recording.
Jose,
yes, Ben?
With Loom, is there the possibility of the host showing our videos to others outside the flow?
Yes, with Loom, you can record and share the video. That's what you mean, Stan? Like you're able to share the video with your students?
No, my question is if the host would own the video that we produce, and do we run the risk of them showing the video, putting it on YouTube without our permission, showing it to other colleges, selling it?
Yeah, and that's another. I'm always cautious about that. Also, is how much does this vendor what are their privacy? What are their how do they deal with the content that's produced? Does it are they allowed to share it or to post it anywhere? Yeah, again, these are some of my worries when you're going with a third-party vendor. I haven't read the policies on Loom, but I would be careful with using a free software like that, because again, you're not paying anything. There's some way they're making money out of you in some way or another. So I'm not sure what their policies are, but I would carefully read them. I don't use Loom To be honest with you, I know it's popular amongst teachers, and that's the only reason why I brought it up, because I know a lot of teachers who use it and they swear by it and they love it. And I just wanted to let you know that that's available there. But again, always like Stan just mentioned, that could be one of the reasons why not to use it, because you don't know what they might be doing with the content that you're producing, right? And who owns it again, you know? Um, so I don't know how to answer that question, Stan. And, you know, I will have to go in there and go to the website and just read up on their policies
No
on
worries.
ownership and
No
Well,
worries.
I've had students record my screen with their phone and put it up, so it does. I don't think it really matters. It's going to happen.
oh
It's
yeah,
just
I
too
mean,
bad, unfortunately.
oh yeah, yeah, Deborah. I mean, uh, with any tool that you decide to use, if you're going online or if you're posting videos on YouTube, nothing is protected 100%. You know, I can easily go on YouTube and download any video that I want. I mean, it's like the wild, wild west in that sense. And this is why it's important in your to write something on your syllabus regarding intellectual property. You know, warning students, or even making the syllabus into a contract that if if they're using these your content and selling it to other websites, which are there's a couple of them out there that I know that students they encourage students to share materials from the classroom. In return the student now can then see other materials from other courses that they're taking, either exams, quizzes, midterms, finals, and etc. You know, so it's scary what's out there, knowing that you really can't, you have limited control in stopping, you know, preventing students from stealing a video and other materials from your class. So yeah, it's scary. You know, any tech savvy student can take your video and make it their own. You know, so we talked about we talked about VoiceThread, how it's a great tool for communicating back and forth in an online environment. You know, Loom, which is great for if you're recording a talking, if you're narrating over your slides. And then I'm going to talk about Screencast-O-Matic, and this is a tool that we pay for at FIT, and you're fully supported by their tech support. And so far, um, a lot of faculty are using it that I know are tell me they come back and tell me, Jose, it's really easy to use, and once you download it, Screencast-O-Matic to your computer, you know, so it's a simple workflow, and I'm going to go through that together. But if you don't want to download Screencast-O-Matic to your computer, you can also use their online version, which works similarly to Loom, right? You don't have to download the application to your computer, so you can do it both ways. Also, Screencast-O-Matic, for those faculty who are doing demonstration videos, Screencast-O-Matic can be downloaded to your smartphone. And this is a really cool application. They recently upgraded the phone app and added a lot of new features, which blew me away when I saw all the features that they've added to the phone app. So if you're interested in that, you can either go, if you're on the iPhone or an Android phone, doesn't matter, either one would work. You can go to the App Store, download Screencast-O-Matic onto your phone, and then log in with your FIT credentials. I'm sorry, with your Screencast-O-Matic username and password. If you already have an account. If not, I can always create an account for you, and then you take that username and password and log in on your phone to Screencast-O-Matic, and then you can do demonstration videos with your smartphone. Any questions with Screencast-O-Matic on the phone? Now, the real cool thing about Screencast-O-Matic on the phone is that once you record your demonstration videos on the phone, it's automatically connected to your course. And therefore, you can just take those videos that you've recorded on the phone, send them directly into your course without having to really do much. It just automatically appears on your course. You know, if you already if you go on Blackboard, and I'll show you how to do that in a second. You know, how to create a Screencast-O-Matic video in your course. I think those are the three main tools. I mean, if you're a Mac user, you also have QuickTime. QuickTime comes free on a Mac, and you know, I used to be a big fan of QuickTime, but with the recent upgrade, I wasn't so happy with the features. I still find Screencast-O-Matic a lot, much easier than QuickTime and much more robust, right? A much more robust tool than QuickTime is. The last tool I want to mention is if you are a PowerPoint person and all your slides are on PowerPoint, you can always record on PowerPoint, and you know, you can also, you know, speak over your slides, record on PowerPoint, and convert that into an MP4 file, which then you can upload that to YouTube, and YouTube will host it and auto caption the videos, and then you can bring that into Blackboard that way. So those are about 4 or 5 options that I mentioned on how to create videos for your course. So let's focus on Screencast-O-Matic. I'm going to show you my workflow and how I use Screencast-O-Matic, and feel free to stop me along the way. Again, I'm a strong believer in videos. You know, if you're teaching a course online, and I see this a lot, where faculty they post their PowerPoint slides, and you know, these are PowerPoint slides that just have talking points. And so the student then opens up these slides. In most cases, they have to download those PowerPoint slides, and they have to follow along, and they really have to figure out the in between, right? It's because PowerPoint slides are talking points, and you know, if you picture yourself as a student and you're looking for that lecture, right? The only way to do that is through a video, right? If you have the slides and you do a voiceover over those slides, those are the best ways. And students will love you for it because they love to be able to pause, rewind, even speed up your voice. You know, they have that power. And also, international students rely on the captions a lot. You'll notice that you'll see that if you have videos in your class, you might have already heard from your students that, thank you, professor, for having videos. It just makes their life easier, and they learn much more than just slides with no voice, you know, with just talking points. So that's my opinion with videos over PowerPoint slides without voiceovers. So I'm going to share my screen. If I remember how to share my screen on Collaborate. Let's see. Here we go. Okay. So if you don't have an account, if you don't have a license with Screencast-O-Matic, please let me know. I'll be happy to send you the link and have so that you can have a license and use the tool. Let me open up my sandbox. I can show you where you can find Screencast-O-Matic. So here in the content area of the course, you can simply click Build Content. And you scroll down to the bottom, you'll see Screencast-O-Matic is there. That's how Screencast-O-Matic is integrated into Blackboard. But you can go directly to their website, and that is ScreencastOMatic.com. Screencast-O-Matic.com, and that would take you to their website. And this is what the website looks like. From here, they have a lot of great resources with amazing videos. So if you're interested in getting a tutorial, you can find anything. They have so many videos here. It's amazing. I was just blown away as to how many videos. They have a video about everything. So if you're stuck on something and you can't reach me, feel free to jump onto the Screencast-O-Matic website and go to resources and watch our tutorials. And here you'll see, I mean, hundreds and hundreds of videos. I mean, they go on. And then here you can search for tutorials. You can type in, and they're always updating their videos, so it's up to date. So once you logged into Screencast-O-Matic, you can just go to My Content at the top here. And from here, you can see all the videos that you've recorded. And from here, you can access your videos, and you can play around with the settings on your videos. But what I want to show you is when you open Screencast-O-Matic, this is how it's going to look like once you've downloaded Screencast-O-Matic and you open it on your computer. This is what you will see. And this again is the library of videos that you've recorded that are saved on your computer. And so if I want to do a new video, I click on the red button here, the red circle, record. And oh, I already have it open. Yes, already. So here's, I have Screencast-O-Matic open. And so the first video demonstration I'm going to do is a video with slides, which is usually most common, type of video, which is screen capture of PowerPoint slides with a voiceover. So I'll do that one first, but also keep in mind that there's 3 options in Screencast-O-Matic. There is the option to record whatever on your screen and your voice over that. And then you can also do what's called a talking head video. And I'll show you the 3 options for that. Let me go here and I'll show you how to. Oh, I pressed record by accident. Let me stop that. So here are the 3 options, right? So when you open up Screencast-O-Matic, you're going to see this little widget. It's very minimal. It doesn't take up the whole screen, and it's intended to be that way because it doesn't want to. It's invasive. You don't want it to, block your slide. So it's a little tiny box here on the side, and you can easily move this around if you grab the handle on the bottom left corner. So if you left click and hold, see how I can move that around the screen? And that's how you can grab the handle and move it anywhere on the screen so that it doesn't block your slides. So here are the 3 options I was referring to, right? So you can do a screen capture. Screen capture would be an example of just a PowerPoint slide and your voiceover. Webcam would be an example of, let's say, an introduction video. And there are no slides. It's just a talking head shot of you speaking to your students. A talking head video is from the top of your head to your shoulders. That's what we refer to as a talking head video. And so that's what you're looking for. Then you want to go with the second option. That's webcam. The third option is it's both. You get to do a screen capture, and you also get a talking head of yourself speaking in the bottom corner of the screen.
Can you show us both? Like, because I want to start off like for them seeing me, but then I want to show my Blackboard. So
sure.
Yeah, that'll help me.
Sure.
Thank you.
Definitely. Thanks, Deborah. That's a great question, because so here is a talking head video, right? So now I chose both, right? And so now I'm going to do my slides. So let me just open up my slides and maximize the screen, play from the start.
So you'll always be a little in the corner while you're talking of whatever screen, right? You'll be like you're showing us right now. You'll be in the corner being recorded like that, so they see you and they see the screen, right?
Correct.
Okay.
It's a little fancy because I can move it around. If for example, if I'm saying to them, "Welcome to PowerPoint," well, this is my right hand, so I can kind of like use my hand, kind of like, okay, here guys. Up in the top, welcome to PowerPoint. If you need to indicate or point to something on the screen, or I don't know. I don't know how you can use this, but if you think about creative ways on how to use it, you can move yourself to where you want to. Um, if there's something on this side of the screen, I say, okay, guys, over here on this side, look at this dress or look at this garment, and then you move the little camera to what you're indicating. Can also help them understand what you're referring to, right? That might be a way that you can use this moving picture in picture. Another way that you can use this feature is what you were saying, Deborah. If let's say I want to open up my video with a talking head, talking directly to my class, you can actually do live switching. And you'll notice here, there's 3 little boxes. What I mean by live switching is that I can change this from a slides with my talking head to just talking head by clicking on this little button right here. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to say, let's say I want to open up the video talking to my students. So I'm going to go to a talking head video. And so I say, okay, welcome class to lecture 1. For today's lecture, we're going to cover X and Y and Z. And I hope you enjoy. And then now I'm going to switch now back to the talking head with the slides. And now I go back to here, right? And so it's a nice way for you to be able to switch in real time between both options, screen capture to a talking head to both. Does that make sense, Deborah?
Yeah, that's great. What about if I want to just, like, I did my talking, you saw me, now I just want to show the screen. Is that the third option? I click there and it just shows the screen?
Well, that's a funny thing. This third option here, it does nothing, which is kind of strange to me.
Oh,
I thought that would be I thought that would remove the talking head from the corners.
right, yeah.
And I think that's what it's intended for. I don't know what happened. I got to reach out to them and ask them about that.
Oh,
But if you want to remove the talking head, I can just simply uncheck, and that would just turn off the video.
okay.
Or if you have 2 monitors, I can just simply. Oh, I can't do that. I thought I could just move it to the side and just disappear. But I think if I uncheck this, it would just take off the camera.
Can you try it? Just so.
Sure.
Oh, I guess then you have to click on screen only over there, right?
So if you go with, yeah, it won't let. Okay, so you're stuck. You're stuck with, if you go with both, you're stuck with having your. Yeah. So unfortunately, yeah. Well,
all right.
I'm glad we tried it. But that's a switching, right? So if I switch to a talking head, that would be my talking opener, right? If I have an opener.
Right.
And then I'm ready for the slide. Boom. Now I'm slide. And then I can also move my talking head around. I'm going to reach out to them about this minus, because I think that's what that was supposed to be, to remove the talking head in total.
So, yeah.
All right. So I think that's really cool. I mean, this is a nice feature to do live switching, and so that's something that keep in your back pocket as a nice little tool, a nice little feature that you can really do live switching in real time, and you don't need to edit. You don't have to edit the video, because this is live switching in real time, and that gets recorded. So feel free to play around with this. I think this is really nice. See, like this feature you won't find in Loom or VoiceThread or any of those tools. This is where Screencast-O-Matic kind of pushes the envelope, the bar a little higher. Okay, so once you have your screen set up and your slides are ready, you're ready to record. If I put this at the first slide, the first thing that you want to do is you want to go through your settings, right? You want to make sure that your settings are, oops, I took it off. You want to make sure that your settings are ready to go, right? So you have to make sure, let me open it up one more time. So the first thing that I always check when I'm ready to record, number one, you want to be in a quiet room. You don't want to have people interrupting. I'm actually in the process of getting a room in the library dedicated for faculty. It took me a long time searching for an available room, and I think I'm very close to obtaining the room. And I'm trying to make this room dedicated to faculty for video production. And Tammy will probably send an email whenever that does happen, when we officially have this room. And so, number one, important is to have good lighting, quiet room where you can, there's no interruptions. So those are my two important things for video recording: good lighting and quiet room. And so once I have that room available, the next thing I do is I go through my settings. If you have the Pro account, you'll notice that there is no limit to max time. That's how I can tell right away if I'm using the free version of Screencast-O-Matic or the Pro account. If it says none, you have the Pro account. But if it says 15 minutes, I think it is, or 5 minutes, then you know you're using the free version. So make sure that if you do see a limit there on max time, let me know and I'll be happy to give you I'll give you a license. The next thing I check is the size, right? If you're looking to do slides, obviously I would go with full screen because you want to record the whole screen. But if you're looking to record only partial, not the full screen, then you want to do maybe 720. And that gives you that zebra rectangle here. And with the zebra rectangle, you can select what part of the screen you want to record. Right? If I only want to record a certain area of the screen, you can just grab the corners. And you can see as I'm moving it, you see the resolution is changing. See how the numbers are moving as I'm moving this little rectangle. And that's how you can control.
What if you want to do Blackboard? Like, you want to show your whole Blackboard and go through Blackboard? What would you pick?
I would do full screen. I've never I've always gone with full screen because I haven't had a need to just record a certain part of the screen. But I mean, it's nice to have that feature in case you want to customize the resolution of the video, or just to record a certain part of the screen without giving away maybe private information, or like the gradebook. If you don't want to give away other students' information, you can then choose 720, go into the gradebook, and only select the small screen that belongs to that one student. If you're making an individual video for a particular student on their grades, and you don't want to give away other student information, and you just want to record, let's say, that one column, then maybe this might come in handy, right? You might just want to record that one column. Anyway, I mean, I never had to use it, but I've always done full screen. Any questions so far? Okay. The next thing I focus on is narration, right? If you're going to do voiceover, you want to make sure that the microphone here is on. Currently, it has a red X. So right now, it's not even it wouldn't record my voice. So when I click on narration, it gives you an option. If I had a dedicated microphone like Snowball, or one of those dedicated microphones like a Sennheiser or Shure mic, and if you have one of those and you plug it into your computer, that microphone will appear here as an option. In my situation, I don't have one of those fancy microphones. I just have my built-in microphone. So I'm just going to click on built-in microphone. And then I click OK. But you see how the decibels are moving up and down? That tells me that it's picking up my audio. So I go ahead and click OK.
The microphone, the built-in mic, excuse me, sir, the built-in microphone is the default setting, is that right? Because you are very, very clear. Very clear.
Yeah, that is default. But if for whatever reason it's not picking up, you can always go in here and see what mics are connected to your computer. But yes, Dan, for me, the default always picks up the microphone that's integrated on my computer.
Thank you.
And Sure. No, and if you have any suggestions of if anyone here is using a dedicated mic, if you have some suggestions, I've always heard that the Snowball, I think it's Snowball, it's a good one. I've always heard. And there's another one called oh gosh, I always forget the name. But I've seen faculty invest on dedicated microphones if they're really, really into having their own um, dedicated microphone for, for these are so usually these are faculty usually that I know that have their own YouTube channels and they really are invested in creating videos for YouTube. Um, but again, it's up to you. I mean, for me, this built-in microphone has worked well for me. I haven't had any issues. So again, you can feel free to play around with the internal microphone. If that's not good enough for you, you can always look around and see if you can, get a dedicated microphone.
I believe Rode is a good choice. RHODE, I believe.
Oh, yes, Rode is a great Australian. They're an Australian company. They make some great products at low prices. Yeah, Rode, Sennheiser. I know those. I know. I keep forgetting this one more that just skips my. Anyway, it'll come back to me. If it does, I will mention it. Um, Now, there's one other feature here at the bottom, computer audio. If you are recording, like I think Deborah, you mentioned it earlier, how people can really take your videos and record. You can do the same with Screencast-O-Matic. I can go to YouTube, record the screen, right, and go to a YouTube video and just record the screen, and kind of like copy the video. Like back in the day, I would have a tape, and I used to have a tape deck, and I would put on the radio, and I couldn't afford the latest tapes, and I would just go on Z100 and then put in my tape and then hit record while the song is playing, and then the DJ would just interrupt, and I was like, oh, now people are gonna know I took this from the radio. but but you can do the same. But with Screencast-O-Matic, you have this feature here, computer audio. And instead of capturing the audio directly from the speaker, you can actually capture the audio, a clean line from directly from the line that's coming from the computer, not the speakers. And that's pretty cool, right? To be able to record the audio directly. So you can make all the noise you want. If I turn this off and I turn this on, if I turn my microphone off, let me do that. Right, so my microphone now is off, and I'm recording, let's say, a YouTube video from somebody, and I can speak, and my voice will not pick up because this is a direct line coming from the video on YouTube. It won't pick up the speaker on the microphone if you have it turned off. This line is coming directly from the computer line. So I don't know if you ever need to use that, if you're, I don't know, copying a movie or something. I don't know. I'm not giving ideas out there, but this is how you can capture audio directly from the computer without the microphone turned on. All right. Let me go back to the normal setup. So that's basically the main settings that you want to make sure. It's super important just to make sure that, number one, the decibels are moving up because that's your voice. This is moving left. You see the little green bars are lighting up. Very important. And then again, deciding on which type of video you want to create, whether it's screen capture, is it a talking head, or is it a picture-in-picture where your slides are over here and then your talking head is in the bottom corner. So that's those are your settings. You also have preferences here, but I've never really used them. But if you want, you can click on preferences and you'll see that there are some shortcuts. I've never used these, but if you're into shortcuts, you can go in there and play around with the shortcuts. Okay. If we don't have any questions on the settings, I'm going to go straight through the workflow on how I record, and then how do I from recording, how do I edit, add the captions, and then host the video. So if there are any questions from here on, I can move on to start talking about the workflow. Okay.
Go ahead,
so,
please.
Okay, perfect. Great. All right, so I'm done. My settings are all good to go. My slides are here and ready. And I'm gonna do some recording. Oh, by the way, Screencast-O-Matic offers some great annotation tools here at the top. I don't use them only because I'm a PowerPoint person. I rely on PowerPoint, and PowerPoint already has my annotation tools, but feel free to use the annotation tools that are provided by Screencast-O-Matic if you want. But I honestly, I'll show you why I don't use them because PowerPoint already has these tools. Let me show you how it will work. So I'm good to go. I'm gonna hit record. It's gonna give me a 3-second timer. Okay, and so here I'm recording. You can see right away that the timer is going, right? So that's another a nice way to keep track of your time, right? So you can see how long you've been going. Always keep an eye on this area to see how much time you've been lecturing for. You also have the pause button next to the timer. So at any moment you can just click pause, and it takes you back here, and the video stops recording. Right? If you want to continue recording, you can hit record and it will pick up right where you left off. So if you have a long lecture, let's say you have 30 plus slides, you don't want to do everything in one shot. Let's say you want to do one slide at a time, you can hit the pause button and pick up right where you left off. So that's a big plus. That's good to know because then you don't really have to do it on one take. That's similar to VoiceThread, how in VoiceThread you can record one slide at a time, and you can pace yourself, right, so that you don't run out of energy. All right, so I'm going to continue recording. I'm going to see it says continue recording where you left off. So that's going to pick up at the 25-second and 25.82 mark. So I'm going to go hit record. It picked up. It gives you again a 3-second timer, and now it will continue from there on. So now I just added on to the end of that first recording. Okay, so now from here, everything works like in PowerPoint. You click on the space bar or the right arrow to move forward. Right, so I can move forward that way. I can also go back by pressing the back arrow on my keyboard. So I can go either back, forward, forward, or back. So you can just simply click on your keyboard forward, to the right or to the left to move forward or back. Now, if I wanted to emphasize on this graphic here at the bottom, and I wanted to annotate, let's say I want to annotate on this screen here. If you mouse over on the bottom left corner, you'll notice that PowerPoint already has an annotation tool here, which is you see that pencil icon right there? So if I click on that pencil icon, here it is. Is that actually, since I am using presenter view, it popped up in my other screen, in my other monitor. Let me see if I can move it over. Let me take out presenter mode. Actually, let's do it. I really wanted to show you how it looks when you do presenter. Okay, I think that will do it. Let's see. There we go. So when you mouse over the pencil, and if you left click on the pencil, then you get these little options here, like a menu drop down. And I can choose the pen tool. And if I click on the pen tool, I can say, welcome to PowerPoint for Mac. Right, so I can now annotate on the screen. I can just sign my name or do a happy face. It's a little bit of, there's about a half-second lag. But this is how you can annotate. And this will get recorded. This will get recorded on the video, right? So this is great to point or make an arrow. And say, okay, well, here's the file button. Make sure you click on file. So this is how you can annotate on PowerPoint. You also can use the laser tool. So if I click on the pencil tool one more time, I also have a laser pointer. Right? So I can go like this. If I want to draw attention to this part of the screen, I can do that. So this is the reason why I kind of don't use the Screencast-O-Matic tools for annotation. You can if you want to, but I'm used to using these. Right? You can use eraser, you can use an arrow, you can change the colors, the pen color. So that's how you would annotate in real time as you're speaking. Any questions about annotations? No? Okay, great. So let me take off the laser pointer. Okay, so now let's say I'm done with my recording and I want to stop. I hit the pause button. I'm up to 4 minutes and 6 seconds. That's where I am right now. If you made a mistake and you know what your mistake is, you can play back the video that you just recorded simply by pressing the playhead button here, and it will start playing back your video. So let me show you how that looks like. Okay, and so here I'm recording. You can see right away that the timer is going, right? So that's a nice way to keep track of your time, right? So you can see how. So you noticed also as I was moving the cursor, it had a yellow, bright yellow circle. That's something that you can, if you don't like that, you can remove it later on. I'll show you later how to do that. But keep in mind that that's a nice way to direct the attention of your students to any slide or any part of the screen that you want them to focus on. If there was a mistake and you wanted to start from the mistake, you can drag, you can go to that point in the video. Let's say I made the mistake at the 3-minute mark, and you wanted to record over that part. You can just simply click on the record, and it will record over that part. And that's how you can record over mistakes without having to really do editing. Okay, so let's say I'm happy with my video. I'm going to go ahead and click done. But if you want to start over, you always do the trash button, right? If you want to start from the beginning and you don't like the video completely, just trash it. In this case, I'm going to go ahead and click done. I'm happy with my recording. So now you get 3 options here. I'm going to go with edit because it's very important to go to edit, because here I just want to show you real quick. I'm not going to go deep into the editing, but from here now you get the full video and you can do minor edits. So let's say I want to remove this part right here where I can tell there's some space here. There's no audio right here. Presenter mode. Actually, let's do it. See, there was a gap there, and so a simple way to fix that. Let me make this a little bigger. Is to use the cut tool. I click cut, and then I drag. You see how I already know there's an empty space here? It knows, but it knows that there's a gap. So you can just simply drag to the area you want to delete. Anything in red is deleting. So let's say I want to delete this whole part right here. Click OK, and that's it. Let's say I got rid of my ums and my ahs. I want to do that. Go to the area that you want to delete. Click cut. It automatically figures it out for you, but if you want to adjust it to your liking, you can just drag the red area, click OK, and deletes that empty space for you. This is what YouTubers do. They do these quick cuts. They're called jump cuts. And normally back in the day, that was sacrilegious. You can't do jump cuts, but nowadays it's common, and you'll see it on YouTube videos. It's okay to do now, I guess. But I remember back in the day, YouTube jump cuts were not allowed, but you see them now everywhere on YouTube videos. Okay, real quick, I know I have 5 minutes left. Now from here, if you're not going to YouTube, you can add your captions right here. If you're just going to save the video on Screencast-O-Matic, make sure that you add the captions. And so to add the captions, you click here, captions, and then you do speech to text. Make sure it's on English, and that's it. Screencast-O-Matic will caption the video for you. You don't have to wait for the whole video to get captioned. You can if you want to sit here and wait, but from here you can actually, you see how quick it is? It's already captioning my video, and it's pretty accurate, right? And so here you can actually make corrections, right? So let's say I wanted to capitalize, let's say I want to put a comma here. Okay, there, I just go in there and type in whatever corrections you need to make. And so it's pretty accurate. All the captions are there for you. Very easy to edit mistakes from right here. Once you're done with captions, just make sure you click OK. I'm not going to go deep into the editing. There's a lot of things you can do here. I mean, you can do so much. Add text, add images. I mean, you can spend a lot of hours here on editing your video, but we're not doing that today. So I'm just going to click Done, because I added my captions. I can also remove the cursor. Remember that yellow circle that I told you about? If you don't like it, just take it off. You can just remove it by clicking on unchecking that box. So I'm going to go ahead and click Done. Now, this is a big decision that you have to make. Do you want to upload the video to your YouTube channel, or do you want the video to be hosted in Screencast-O-Matic? That's the big decision you have to make. You can also save the video to your computer. These are your three options. Save it to your computer as an MP4, save the video to Screencast-O-Matic, or save it to YouTube. So this is where you have to decide. If you're using YouTube, you don't have to put the captions, because remember, YouTube already does captions for you. But if you're going with Screencast-O-Matic, if you want Screencast-O-Matic to host the video for you, because we're paying for it. So we have free private hosting on our own private server. If you're going that route, make sure that you go and do the captioning part. Right?
Jose, how large of an MP4 file would a 15-minute be? Any idea approximately how large a file?
Oh, that's a great question. Again, the longer the video, the bigger the file. Also, the higher the resolution, meaning if you do a full screen, that's a bigger resolution, the higher the file size. I'm guessing a 15-minute video might be, and I'm guessing is a rough estimate. I would say about maybe 200 megabytes, around there, 200 maybe.
Yeah, in terms of housekeeping, that may be a little large if you're making several. So I think that the choice for me would be to allow Screencast-O-Matic to host.
Right. So yes, if you do save video, that 200 megabyte file will go into your hard drive, and that would take up space, right? So you can easily upload to Screencast-O-Matic or YouTube. So let's go with Screencast-O-Matic for now. But if you go with YouTube, if you use your username and password, Screencast-O-Matic makes a handshake with your channel, and it automatically just uploads the video directly to your channel if you give it the permissions to do that. For those people who are using YouTube, if you want to do that, make a seamless transition from Screencast-O-Matic directly to your YouTube channel. You can do that. If you need help with that, let me know, and I can help you create that handshake between Screencast-O-Matic and YouTube, so that your videos automatically show up on your channel. But I'm going to choose Screencast-O-Matic, and the reason why is because we have Screencast-O-Matic integrated into Blackboard. So once my video goes into Screencast-O-Matic, that video can easily be imported right into my course without having to embed anything. So that's why I like this route, because it's much easier, right? So I'm going to go upload to Screencast-O-Matic. And so here it gives you another, it allows you to change the title, right? So let's say I call this Lecture 1. And we're almost done. So this is the last part of the here I'm putting the title of my video. You have a choice if you want to add a description. Again, it lets you remove that cursor. If you don't like that little highlight cursor, you can take it off. It gives you, this is just your last chance to remove it. Here, Stan, you can control the quality of the video. This will also affect the speed as to which it converts, and also the file size, right? So if you do a higher resolution, high quality, it will take up more space and it will take up more time. I'm gonna go with high quality. Actually, let me keep it normal because I know I'm running a little bit out of time. And here, visibility, very important. If you want this video visible to everyone, then it will be public. But if you only want it visible to your class, make it unlisted. Okay, very important. If you only want this video visible to your students in your class in Blackboard, make it unlisted. Then all you got to do is click publish. And that's it. You're pretty much good to go. This will take up a few minutes for the video to publish into Screencast-O-Matic. Once this is done processing, then all you really got to do is bounce back into Blackboard. Let me show you that real quick. Let me just close PowerPoint. And now if I go back into Blackboard, and if I add Screencast-O-Matic, my video will automatically pop up here. And you're done for the day. So I call this lecture 1. Then you click submit. And so now this is basically an empty shell. So you actually have to click on the title. When you click on the title, it's going to take you to your library of videos. And so from here, these are all my videos that I've recorded. Now remember, my video is still uploading. Where is it? Yeah, it's still uploading. Oh, here, did I publish it already? Oh yeah, let me. So once this is done, then that video that I just recorded will appear right here in the top left corner. It's at 13% right now, so it's going to take us some time. It's at 14, 15, so it'll take about a few minutes. But take my word for it. Once that's done publishing, then the video appears here. You click on the video, and then you click embed, and you got some options here. You can control the size of the video. If you want to show the controls, make sure the captions are on. Autoplay, I usually take this off because it could be annoying for the students. Autoplay means that the video automatically starts to play. So I take that off. And then last thing you do is click embed the video. And we're done. Go back into content. And that's it. The video is now in here. So when the students click on this link, the video plays for them. So that's my workflow that I use with Screencast-O-Matic. You know, I try to keep it as simple as possible. And that's basically it. If you have any questions, please let me know. I recorded this lecture. I recorded this workshop. So if you need to go back and watch it, I will send that link to all of you. Again, I mean, if you have any questions, either let me know. I'll be happy to answer your questions. And again, there are no limits to what you can do with video. And I highly recommend Screencast-O-Matic. So far, it's very simple to use and easy to use tool.
Professor, one last question. If we choose not to use Blackboard, what were you using? You were using, I'm so sorry. Can we still use the share application screen and show entire screen and then show particular windows, showing the screen for teaching software and showing windows for showing lesson plans?
Oh yeah, yeah. That you can still use that method, right? So you're saying using Collaborate or using Google Meet to do the recordings instead of going to Screencast-O-Matic. Yeah, that works too. Now, going that route, Stan, you got to remember that the captions, right? The captions aren't generated on Collaborate or I think WebEx is the only one that I think that does captions for you if you go that route. And I know the school, as well as other schools, are making sure that content are ADA compliant. So that's another thing you have to keep aware. If you go that route, going with Collaborate or Google Meet, that once the video is recorded, that you move it into YouTube and get captions and then bring it back into Blackboard that way. Now, if you're not using Blackboard, that's fine too. You can always send the students a link to those videos.
Thank you, Professor. Thank you so much for your time, your expertise.
Sure, sure. Thanks for coming by. And again, I'm happy to help if anybody ever gets stuck with anything. I'm here for you. You're not alone. I'll be happy to help you with video or anything with Blackboard related or online learning. Okay.
Thanks again.
Thanks for coming by. I hope everybody has a great week and take care. I'll see you next time.
Can we get in?
Hey.